It's Hades here from ASAP Imagination, and I am joined by Lisa Downs from Life After Movies, and this is Lisa's 5 in 5. What made you want to become a documentary filmmaker?
I always knew I wanted to be in the movies somehow. I was obsessed with award shows and watching movies and trying to work out how they were made. And I ended up doing a Bachelor of Arts in TV production. And it was during that time I went for my third year project to India to do a documentary short on the Tibetan Children's Village, because I wanted to do a third year project that was different to the music videos on campus that were being shot. So I flew to India with my parents, with the money that my dad won from Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, and got a camera. And it wasn't much, but it was enough. Sorry about the dogs in the background. And I just really enjoyed the process of doing this documentary short. So that's kind of how it started, my love of documentaries. I always loved watching them, but I never really thought about having a career in them. And then after that, I worked in travel documentaries, and that's kind of how it started.
Cool. So my next question will be, what is it about 80s cinema for you that holds so much magic?
For me, 80s cinema was just this magical time of films that were made for kids, about kids. You know, up until the 80s, you were really watching characters that were 20, 30 years old. But in the 80s, you were suddenly watching kids your age, you know, Lost Boys and Goonies and E.T. and Labyrinth. And you were watching kids that you could relate to going through problems that you could relate to. So it was just a really magical time. And I also think they focused on families and stories that connected. They were magical, they were fantastical, and they also didn't have a lot of sequels. You know, they understood that a sequel needed to be just as good as the first, or don't do it at all. And it didn't feel like a money grab era.
Mm-hmm.
It felt like an era where they cared about the stories and the end product.
Cool. So what can you tell us about your latest project then, which is Life After Goonies?
Life After the Goonies, I'm so excited about. It was like the holy grail of films that I wanted to do when we decided to do a series of Life After movies. Goonies really is the film that started my want to be in film, I think. I didn't understand that films were made, but I knew that they were actors, but I still thought that they existed outside the movie. So I thought the only way to be friends with the Goonies was to be an actor. So that's kind of how I got into the love of film. But I interviewed Richard Donner for it in 2017 in anticipation for this project to happen. I finally spoke to Sean Astin in person, who said yes, he would be involved. And so we have about a week left on the crowdfund, and it's just been a really wonderful response. And I'm so excited to hit the target and continue filming for it.
Awesome. Question 4 then is, what's next for you? What are you doing after this?
So we're halfway through shooting for Life After Goodfellas as well, which is another doc that we're doing. We've started filming for Life After Grease. Those two and Goonies will probably take up the next couple of years. I would love Goodfellas and Goonies to be out next year for the anniversaries of it. Yeah. There's a couple of other projects I have lined up. There's one documentary I'm doing with a kind of 90s TV star that won't be a Life After, but it'll be a story of his life, which I'm really excited about. And then I'll just see what happens. I would love to do a feature scripted. I've got a first draft of a script that I've written, but I'm not a writer, so I am slow. And yeah, I'll just see kind of what opportunities happen.
Cool. And then finally, and most importantly, is where can people find you on social media? Where can people keep up with the news?
So you can sign up to my newsletter on lifeaftermovies.com. I'm also on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram as Life After Movies. I do it all myself. That's why it's not very good. But it also means that I'm the one that replies to people. I don't have like a social team. And then on Twitter, for some reason, I'm Life After Movie 3, because when I set up my account, Twitter gave me a 3 at the end and I don't know how to change it. So they're my socials.
Fantastic. And, you know, thank you for taking the time. Thanks for grabbing 5 with me. This has been brilliant.
Thank you. And sorry about the dogs.
Yeah.